welcome to Hollywood Mindset TV. Today I am really excited to have a very special guest on the show. Her name is Cynthia Bizukiewicz. Cynthia is actually one of the first people that I ever had the opportunity to interview when I first started doing the podcast for VIP Ignite. And I just remember her knowledge and her passion for the entertainment industry just really inspired me to want to learn more and to do the best job that I could. Cynthia, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being on today.
Hi, Denise. Thank you.
How excited are you to be on Hollywood Mindset TV? It's pretty cool, right?
Yes, it's amazing. I'm excited.
Awesome. So before we really get into the interview, I just want to explain to everyone a little bit about Hollywood Mindset TV and a little bit about our story. So each episode is about capturing the mindset of success. What we found is there are so many people who get into the entertainment industry and they put the cart before the horse. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that they start and they're so focused on getting an agent or a manager that they don't focus on the things that are really important, like actually booking work, making money doing their craft, or even developing a mindset that makes agents and managers actually want to work with you. So I'm really excited to talk to you today, Cynthia, so you can tell us where you were, where you are, and where you're going. So can you just tell us a little bit about your story, about how we got to the point where we are here today talking?
Yeah, sure. So long story short, I've always wanted to be a model. And once I joined this company, I realized why what I've tried in the past did not work. And not for nothing, I'm very grateful for my journey and how it's played out. So when I came across VIP Ignite on Instagram, I was completely drawn in. And so it's a 3-step interviewing process. And so I figured, what's wrong with, just checking them out. So I signed up for the webinar and fell in love with Allie. I fell in love with how blunt and to the point she was, how she wasn't trying to, scam you. And she basically talked about scam or no scams in her webinar. And so I just felt a connection and I was like, yes, I finally found something that I know will work out for me. I didn't know officially it would work out, but I have to say being with this company for 2 years, it's brought me to amazing places. So long story short, I've never thought about acting. I am now looking forward to acting. In New York, we're going to be doing a scene study in front of judges. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I want to model. And so every time I've done a photo shoot, anytime I did the modeling jobs that I have done, hair modeling jobs and runway shows, my passion kept getting ignited and growing and growing. So I was really happy about that. And I'm so happy with what the future holds for me, because even though life kind of benched me right now, I had foot surgery 2 weeks ago. And so right now I'm in a cast. I'm using my passion, knowing that I can't actively book work because of my foot. I'm using my passion to build my knowledge and my mindset. And so I'm really looking forward to other areas of growing and building your career in this industry, voiceover. When we went to New York, there was a workshop in September with Valerie Smaldone doing voiceover, and she piqued my interest then. And so now with my injury, we had to do homework because she is one of our acting coaches on the 30X Elite coaching challenges. And when I did my homework, I have to say, and I don't know if the smile on my face can just express it, but I was really happy and impressed. I completely was blown away by that was me. I don't know if she's heard it. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but please listen, because I thought that I was amazing. I know that there's improvement that can be made, but it ignited something inside of me where now I want to go and go through the whole list that she sent us of, sports and TV and advertisement, and just see what I can do with my voice and, possibly pursue for the time being and in the future, that side of the industry. So VIP Ignites definitely piqued so many different ways of how to be a part of the entertainment industry, and has made me grow, and has opened so many doors as far as which direction I want to go in and things like that. I'm so happy to be a part of this company.
That's awesome. I have so many questions for you regarding with what you just said. So
Sure.
let's start with, first of all, okay, so when you started, like, I talked to a lot of people interviewing people for the podcast, and as people come to events and different things like that. So I talked to so many people who, when they get started, they only want to do one thing. And modeling, I think, is probably our most popular thing. People, I want to be a model. That's all I want to do. So let's talk about, like, your mindset shifts. Like, how did you go from only wanting to be a model, because that's how you started, and then your mind expanded a little bit to, oh, okay, maybe acting is something I can do. So can you talk a little bit about how your mindset shifted in that way?
So yes, when I first joined the company, there was a workshop in their office in Pennsylvania, and I got an email that says everyone must learn a monologue. So I called up Goldie at the time, who was with the company, and I asked her about the email. I said, well, I'm only here for modeling. Do I need to learn a monologue? My perspective being, I didn't want to take away someone's chance at acting, being as how some people, to me at the time, go for either modeling, acting, or music. Mm-hmm. And she said, girl, all doors are open. Learn a monologue and come prepared.
That's awesome.
Okay. So things happen for a reason. There were plenty of monologues to learn. There were female, there were male, and then there were coupled monologues. I do not know why. Obviously, I know why now. But I was drawn to this male-female monologue, and I learned the female part of the monologue. So when I went to the workshop, Thomas G. Waits, a famous actor, he was hosting one of the parts of the workshop. And so he called on people to do their monologues. And then the transition that he did with so many people, that he let them perform as they felt, the monologue should be performed. And then he dug deep in and drew out emotion that was needed to perfect the monologue easier and better, and it blew a lot of us away. And of course he picked me, and so never performed before, I went up to the front and I asked him, I said, I have a male-female monologue, would you recite the male part with me? And he said, no, I'm here to judge, which is completely understandable. So he picked someone from the audience. I gave them a copy of the monologue, and 2 lines in, he stopped us and he said, no, I have to do this with you. And I was like, okay. And I'm nervous as it was. So now I'm even more nervous, because now I am actually performing with a famous actor. And so we performed the monologue. Now, I'm not at all saying that it was great, because I know I could definitely done better. Mm-hmm. But he didn't critique me as much after. He actually clapped, and he said that I did a good job, and he let the rest of the class clap for me, and then he sat down. He didn't really go into anything as far as making it better. I'm not at all saying that, I was great. Mm-hmm. But now, when you are an actor or actress, your job is to entertain and make your audience feel something. Mm-hmm. Feel what you want them to feel. Now, it was break time, and there were kids there, and there were parents of children there. And so one woman came up to me, a parent of a little girl, and she said, hi, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And she goes, what happens to your daughter at the end of the scene? And I said, my heart stopped, because I made her feel the need to come up to me and ask me that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's your job. And I did that. And so I told her, I said, well, I'm an alcoholic in the scene, so obviously the daughter ends up with the father. But that was when I realized, okay, I'm glad I walked through this door. And so I haven't booked any work as far as acting, because I'm still learning, and that's okay. I've learned with Thomas, actually, The second time I made him feel something apparently. So that was amazing.
Awesome.
And in doing that, he asked me to be a part of his coaching, his teaching in New York. So I attended a 4-week coaching program with him, and he made me learn Shakespeare. And at first I was very hesitant because I told him, I said, I've never acted before. And he goes, okay, you're going to do great. And I was like, I'm glad you think so, but can we start off something simpler? And he's like, no, you're going to do great. You're going to do Juliet's, that speech of Romeo and Juliet. And I was like, I will do my best. And because he had so much confidence in it, in telling me that, it made me not want to let him down and not, build myself. But I more or less learned it because he had that faith in me, and he saw something in me where he, said, you're going to do great. So, I learned that, and that was amazing. I did not go back to his classes only because, he was actually going to be going to England because, a show that he had wrote was being picked up and produced and played out in England, I believe. And so he took a few months off in order to go pursue that. And we just never connected once he came back. But actually, that's a lie. At the last, you were there at the last New York event when we first met, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's when we first met.
He called me to the stage. That's right. He called me to the stage. And he made me perform my monologue, my Romeo and Juliet monologue. And Angel, who was Magma Talent at the time, he high-fived the crap out of my hand after I performed that monologue, which made me feel great. I mean, I've overcome so much, and I never even thought of being an actress. And so I'm so happy with this journey and where I've been going on this journey and this path. As far as acting, it's exciting.
No, I mean, that's phenomenal because like you did something that was really scary. Like you were like, no, I don't want to take anyone's space. And then because you were pushed in that direction, and the thing is, like, you could be pushed in a direction and you can lock your knees and it would have been a terrible experience. But because you were I won't even say push, I would say you were nudged in that direction because you took that risk. Which is a mindset thing, because a lot of other people would have been like, no, I'm not doing that. Are you insane?
Well, I definitely thought, what are you doing? Like, no, you can't do this.
Yeah. But because you took that risk, now look at you. Like when you talk about modeling, you're very animated, but when you talk about acting, you positively glow.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. And so something I love about you, Cynthia, is that you are very much a mentor to a lot of people in the company, whether or not you have assumed that role consciously or not. Because I remember when we were in Los Angeles in June, watching you mentor the people who are getting like their headshots and their photos taken. So can you just talk a little bit about that role, that like unofficial role that you have in the company? Because I know that's something that like you were like, no, I'm not a teacher. And then all of a sudden you're like, stand there, do this, do that, pose this way, pose that way. So can you talk a little bit about that for me?
Sure. Sometimes I surprise myself. And this has happened with the company and this has happened outside the company. But I was a part of Ignite Certified Partners with VIP Ignite when they did it. I was a part of an ICP program where I can learn how to scout talent, whether it be acting, modeling, and music. And so in doing that, I loved how I caught people off guard, so to say, with asking if they've ever had an interest in being a model or actress. Some people, you don't realize how beautiful you are. And so sometimes you get asked something, caught off guard with a question, and it just, something comes alive. And whether it be, I don't know the way to say it, but anyways, there were a few people that I asked in New York when scouting if they had ever thought about being a model or actress. And because of the fact that they never clearly thought about that. And I blew them away with asking. And, you know, people are very afraid of being scammed. So I don't think they took me serious. But the way that we left each other, whether or not, you know, they joined with me or not, the way that we left and parted each other, not knowing them at all, made me feel good because I ignited something within them that maybe they needed. Whether they pursue something in the entertainment industry or maybe just, you know, self-confidence now in a different direction, I ignited something within them. Yeah. And so that made me feel really good because I needed that for a long time. Yeah. I think everybody knows bullying and being picked on is definitely something most of people go through, unfortunately. And so I was, you know, picked on and bullied as a kid. And so now that I'm an adult, with joining this company and, you know, just my passion being ignited and seeing the growth and feeling the growth of myself within this company, I love it. And so one thing we've learned from our acting coaches is give back. And so I don't have knowledge as far as, you know, booking work as acting, modeling, or anything like that, but I'm going to give back that feeling that was given to me. That's how I see it. And so in LA, I was sitting there reading Derek Warburton's magazine, and out of the corner of my eye, I just saw this one girl. She was very stiff and she was very afraid. And I remember being that. And I don't know, something just comes over me where I just got up and I just asked the photographer respectfully first. I said, can I have a second? And I just told her, I said, listen, eyes on him, ears on me. And I just helped. And I told her, you know, smile, let your personality shine in your photos. I said, do you want this? You're here. So you obviously want this. So let it show how much in your photos. And so, yeah, I was really happy with that. And I didn't do it for any, you know, buddy but them, to be honest, because I just wanted to give them back what, you know, people have given me as far as, you know, self-confidence and things like that.
That's an awesome mindset to have, Cynthia, because I think that's definitely something that the company as a whole, like that's definitely one of our core values. Like we want to give back, and everyone that we work with, whether it's in the coaching or the people, the industry experts who come to our events, we want to make sure that everyone has that same mindset. So it's so awesome to see someone like yourself who, hold on, stop the process. I'm going to give to you what I needed at that moment. And I love that mindset because, again, like you can never outgive anyone. The thing is, like, when it comes to pouring that type of experience into people, you can never outgive them. And the thing is that you'll always get it back. Like you always get it back. So when you do something that's that selfless, you get something in return, whether even it's not intentional. It's like a law. It's like a universal law. You right. So that's awesome that you did that. And like, I remember again, seeing you just light up because all of a sudden, like, I was like, who is that woman over there? You were like you basically were running the photo shoot for those people that you helped. It was amazing to see that because it's, again, like, you know, people are nervous and it's scary. You have all these lights, you have all these cameras on you for the first time. So to have someone like you work with people, that was amazing. That was really cool to witness.
Because the thing is, you have so much going on and obviously you see everything else. And so you don't feel as though you can be as good as the person that, you know, you just watched do their photos. And so you have to get out of your mind and be present. Yeah. And so with me doing that, I just wanted to help make sure that the photographer captured who they were the best way that I could, you know, in order to help their careers successfully build.
Yeah, and you certainly did that. That was phenomenal to witness.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, thank you. So let's talk a little, you mentioned a little bit about how you've had a setback recently. So one of the themes of our upcoming event in a couple of weeks in New York City is the obstacle is the way. So can you talk a little bit about the setback that you've had, and then what could have been something that was really detrimental, how you turned it into something really positive?
Yeah, sure. So I had a good streak going, never broke a bone in my body. And unexpectedly, while dancing and out celebrating my friend's birthday, I felt a pop in my foot. and apparently I fractured a bone really bad. And so since the middle of October, I have been seeing doctors, and I successfully had foot surgery. I had 7 pins, a plate, and a wire put in, which completely and totally baffles my mind. I figured, you know, I would be in more pain leading up to the surgery, and I'm in more pain healing from the surgery, but that's expected. So anyways, I did struggle really bad with mindset. Anyone who knows me knows I am very active in life. I love to either be working or exploring and living life to the fullest that I can. So when life decided to bench me, I was hurting mentally. You are in your mind a lot. Mm-hmm. And I just kept thinking that my career could potentially be over. And I had so much that, you know, I was working hard for. And actually the week that this happened, Ryan Colby had messaged me and asked me what my schedule was, because I guess he wanted to try to set work up for me. But unfortunately that didn't get to happen. So yeah, I was at a low. And even though my surgery, it's only foot surgery compared to other people that I've talked to and learned what kind of surgeries they've gone through, it still hurts. I realized I am still allowed to feel the way that I do. Mm-hmm. And so I told myself, all right, I may not be actively able to book work. However, let me take this time to heal and to figure out what direction and what I want to do as far as when I'm fully healed, where to go. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be catching up on some of the coaching calls because I've been out of it for a little bit. And I'm just changing my mindset to make sure that I just build and gain as much knowledge using, you know, videos and internet and actually networking and talking to people. And so, as I had said earlier, talking to you, Valerie Smaldone is one of our coaching calls, acting coaches. There you go. And so she had given us homework. She had sent us a sheet of, you know, voiceover clips to practice and send and submit to her for homework. And so when I did mine, I was completely blown away. I just couldn't believe how professional I sounded. And I couldn't wait to just express and share it with my family and friends. I just was blown away. It opened my eyes so much and excited me. And so I went and I had my family and my friends listen to it. And I didn't tell them it was me. I just said, hey, listen to this. And they were like, okay, what's that? And I was like, that was me. And they were like, no way. You sounded so professional. You sounded as if like you were, you know, actually advertising a movie on Hallmark. And I was like, I know. And so now with doing that, and, you know, hopefully on our next coaching call, Valerie will give me guidance, because I don't know if she's heard it yet or not. She'll give me guidance as far as if it was great and, you know, what I could do to improve. But I'm going to take the other clips and I'm going to just work with them and see how my voice fluctuates and what I can do with it. Because my interest was, you know, peaked when we met her in September at a workshop. Yeah. But now with this, it's funny because things happen in life in order to just make you realize other things. Mm-hmm. And so maybe me having my foot injury has led me to realize that I can actively continue my passion within the entertainment industry in other ways. Yeah. And so now I'm looking forward to, you know, doing a sports, because she gave us small clips, a list of small clips where it's, you know, advertisement, TV shows, sports, and things like that. So I'm going to, you know, play around with that and really hope maybe message her on the side and just ask her, you know, in what ways I can improve and, you know, see what I can do as far as becoming a voiceover actress, which is really exciting. Like I said, I never thought of this when I first met this company. I just wanted to model, which that is my passion. Mm-hmm. but now all these doors have opened, and I'm not bad at, things. I'm not great, you can always improve, but the fact that I took risks, I've improved and, and built my self-confidence more. And so I'm just so happy with where I'm at in life. And I'm really looking forward to, what the next chapter is, after this, I'm fully healed from my injury and, it going into the new decade. One of our acting coaches, Monique Coleman, she said that her 30s was probably her best, chapter, because she just advanced so much as an actress, and she didn't imagine herself traveling and being a part of all of the things that she did as an artist and things like that. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future brings me. I mean, of course, what I bring too, but things happen for how you put yourself out there. Things happen, with your self-confidence. One thing I've learned in this industry is be yourself. Don't be afraid. People, the biggest actors and actresses are afraid still. And they've been in the entertainment industry for how long? Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But hearing those things, it makes it easier to cope with being afraid and using that. And so it's so exciting. I'm so happy.
That's awesome. Like everything that you've said totally exemplifies the Hollywood mindset, because again, you walked in, you're always willing to learn, you're always willing to go to that next thing, and you're always willing to take on that next challenge. And that's totally a mindset thing, because there are so many people that are like, I want to do this, but I want to do it in my way. And a lesser person with a poor mindset would have had a foot injury, and they would have been like, okay, obviously that's a sign that I'm not supposed to do this. And you felt what you felt, you reached into your community, you got some support, and now you're stronger today than you were before. And that's totally a mindset thing, because again, that's also the whole point, like the whole philosophy of the obstacle is the way. Like you took an obstacle and you made it your strength. Like you took something that that looked scary and formidable, and you were like, okay, you know what? You're not bigger than me, and you know what? I'm going to use you to propel me forward. And now you're pursuing something that's timeless. Like the cool thing about voice acting, as you know, is your voice doesn't really age. So that's something that you can grow and you can blossom. And that's something also, I don't know if our audience realizes this, but that's something that you can monetize very easily. Like if you really get good at it, then that's a way to make money. And you can say, hey, look, I'm in the entertainment industry and I'm making money. I may not be in front of the camera, but the possibilities are endless. Right. So I never thought I would say this to someone, but I'm kind of glad that you hurt your foot. Not that I would ever wish that on anyone, but actually what I'm really happy about is that you took that obstacle and then it's propelled you forward, which is something that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely took me a little bit to get past how I was feeling and to get to the mindset that I'm at, but I'm not going to let this keep me down. Especially when I talk to other actresses that I've met with this company and hearing the surgeries and the obstacles that they overcame. I know who they are now. And so hearing what they went through and seeing who they've become, anything is possible. The obstacles, either make you realize or make you feel that you shouldn't be doing something, or they teach you a lesson, and it's up to you to figure out which way you want to go.
Yeah. And that is that alone is a mindset thing. Like you can be defeated or you can be a victor. You want to be a victim or a victor, and your mindset is that you want to be a victor, and that's everything that the Hollywood mindset is all about. Good. Cynthia, I want to thank you so much for being on I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the show today. Thank you so much for being on this episode of Hollywood Mindset TV. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Janine. I'm so happy.
You're welcome. And
I can't wait to see you in December.
I know, in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everyone so much for watching this episode of Hollywood Mindset TV. I hope that you enjoyed our episode, and I hope that what you do is you continue to follow along, because we have a lot of amazing guests that we're going to bring on the show that exemplify the Hollywood mindset. So thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.